Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. Now today we've got this Phragmipedium here that needs repotting. That's the old growth that needs coming off. But it's two growths down here, and the largest of the growths, as I've shown you before, is putting up some black leaves. Now I don't know why, because these have had fish blood and bone, which I've never had problems of with before. But they're getting all these leaf tips, and they never get any water in the crown. So where it's coming from, I don't know. But this needs repotting and sorting out. So we'll start off by taking it out of its pot and see what it's doing underneath. And if it goes like any of my other Phragmipediums, there's plenty of roots, but at this time of the year there's not many growing tips. So we'll take it out of its pot. The whole watered yesterday, so it should be quite damp in here. And it's very hot in here today. It looks like we're in for a very hot 3 days here. This one's in, I don't know, it looks like it's in a bit of no, it's not in bark, it's in coconut husk and perlite. So let's have a look at the roots. There's a good root. They're 50-50. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a 50-50 one. That's a bad one. And that's a good one. But we'll clean this up and we'll have a good look at it. Right, I'll start off by removing this leaf, which is, oh, there's a little root coming out there, so that's a good sign. But if I pull that back, it should just come away, but it's not doing. So I'll have to just cut it there, nip it at the top. I'll put it in 2 halves and then pull what's left of the leaf away. If it'll come. No, that's not coming neither. Ah dear. So that one's cutting right down the middle, like that, and then it should pull away. Yep, there we are. There we are. Yep. That one. This is a bit here, and a bit here what's pulling away. It's sort of brown and a little bit soft, but it's not going to come away very easily, this. It needs a good pull. There we are. Now what do I do with this? It's growing a new root from this plant, but this plant at the top isn't good at all. So what do? Do I just leave it and let the roots grow? Because where it's black here, it's very, very dry. It's just coming away. But you see, if I pull it away like that, you can see they're very, very dry. So I'll cut as much brown as I can away. I'll cut back into the green with a bit of luck. And hopefully we'll get some more green coming up, which we are doing. Which we are doing there. So I'll leave this one. I can't cut that anymore, but we'll see how it gets on from there. So that's not too bad. All these are just little bits of leaves that can come off, or you can leave them on. And I think, yeah, I'll take that one off. Now this root at the back that's finished, no good at all. we'll get that one off completely. When you look in the top there, there's absolutely no green whatsoever. So I can cut it off as low as I want. There we are. So I'll take that off. I'm not going to use this bark again, I'm going to use some new bark and new perlite. And hope that does the trick. See, this is already flowered once before. It's already flowered on this growth that's good, and these are the ones it's got to flower on again. And on the new growth there's a black tip as well. So we'll nip that black tip off, put a little bit of cinnamon on it, and then we'll get it repotted. There's another new root growing there. Well, I've got some fresh bark out here. There's little bits of sphagnum I've chopped up and put in just to keep it nice and damp when we're getting this hot weather. And that's what I'm going to put it in. And I've gone down from a 3-litre pot to that size of the pot, because I've trimmed the root. I've trimmed the roots right down. I'll show you. You see, that's where I cut the old growth off. Turn around again. Be with you in a minute. That's where there's a new root coming down. That's the new growth, and that's the new growth as well. And it was all black, but I'm pleased to say in the middle there's a bit of green coming up in the next leaf. So we'll get this one potted up. This is a Fritz Schomburg, by the way, and we'll keep it nice and damp, because they love wet feet, these. I put a little polystyrene chips in there just to make sure there's more air in. So we'll put this in. It's like just above a medium-sized bark, that. And I should have put that in. There. I should have put that in after I put the plant in. So we can get it at the right depth. Little struggle. Little struggle because it's up against the polystyrene. Well, we all change our mind at the last minute, and I've taken the polystyrene out because the pot it's going in is full of holes. So I really don't need the polystyrene in. And I've trimmed the roots of this Phragmipedium. So we'll just put it in there like that till it reaches the right depth, if you can see. And then we'll start filling up. Give it a little tap, make sure everything's there. There's no air pockets in. Push it down just to make sure the plant is nice and firm in the pot. Don't plant it too low because they don't like being down like Paphiopedilums do. And the more you tap it, the more medium you can get in. Right. That'll do for that one. If I turn around and have a look, there's absolutely no spaces there. It's all media, a little bit of sphagnum. So that needs a good watering now. Now the next one I'm going to repot is a Paphiopedilum, and this is Paphiopedilum insigne. I as I said, I won this in a raffle, didn't I? And it's still in the same pot. So that must be about 6, 7, 8 weeks ago, something like that. And it was in flower, but they've died off. I've cut that off, and once the flowers have gone, hopefully the roots are starting growing on these paths, and that's the time to repot it. So we'll just take this out of its pot and have a good look at it. Oh, that's got a load of moss at the bottom. It seems to like some polystyrene there, and at last there's a new root tip coming out there, as you can see. But what's these roots like? Yeah, that's a dead one there. I'll just get the scissors and cut that off. It's only a tiny one, but it doesn't look like it's doing too bad, this one. It's coming up with a new growth there, in between this leaf and the growth where it's just flowered from. And there's another new growth coming up here. So, should I put it back into its original, or should I change the bark? We'll have a look at it. No, the bark seems quite hard, but and the new root's growing where the sphagnum's wet through. Now then, that's a new one on me. Anyhow, we'll get it potted up into the same one, because it doesn't look like it's doing too badly at all. But what we did before, we put a little bit of that in. We put a lot of that in. That's what it was in before, so it seems to be liking it. So if it's liking it, that will do for me. No bad roots. Should I put it in a smaller pot? Should I put it in a smaller pot? Well, I think with the depth of the roots and where the new roots coming from, I can't get a pot small enough to put it in. Well, I can get one small enough, but not the right size. So we'll just bang this back in. With that moss being wet through at the bottom and the new root growing, I'm not going to water this again today, but I've got a lot of watering to do over the weekend, because in this greenhouse now it's 32 degrees, and the temperatures were supposed to get here, we're supposed to get up to 31, 32 degrees outside. So in the greenhouse, that must shoot up to another 6 degrees. So it looks like I'll be in the greenhouse all day tomorrow watering. Some of the hanging ones, mind you, I've only got 3 hanging ones, they'll need doing sort of every 2 or 3 hours at that temperature, I would reckon. You know, to make a proper job of them. And I've plenty of time to do that, so it doesn't really matter for me. You know, but people who've got families and they've got things to do, it can get quite a task for them to water them as much as they would like. Now these Phrag insignis, they must be one of the easiest Paphiopedilums to grow. I mean, I've seen these grown in nothing but soil, and I never thought they'd do that, but yep, they do. and grow in soil. Right, that's Paphiopedilum insigne. So we've had 2 repots there. I'll just get them watered if I've got some water. Well, I've just found out that my RO water's dry. I've had the tap switched off, so I'll put that on again, but I've got some rainwater here, so I will I'll water them with the rainwater if I can find. Dear, I'm looking all over the place for stuff these days and I still can't find it. It's rainwater. This is the Phragmipedium. Plenty on. And don't forget there's 2 sides to a pot. I've seen people just water it one side. But no, water it all the way around. And water them well. Right, that's the Phragmipedium. And I'll just give these a touch, this Paphiopedilum a touch, because it hasn't been done for a few days. Under this weather it won't do it any harm whatsoever. It will do harm if it dries out, because these Paphiopedilums don't like drying out. They like to be just nice and damp, where the Phragmipediums like to be nice and wet. Right, there we are. Well, that's my lot for today. I've done the Phragmipedium and the Paphiopedilum. They both get repotted the same, slightly different mixes in them, or different sizes of bark. The larger bark goes with the Paphiopedilums and the smaller with the, naturally with the Phragmipediums, because it holds more water the smaller media you get. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, thanks to all my subscribers, and I'll see you later. Bye.